Hey guys, Super Godzilla Final Wars here, and today I am back once again with another video. Today I'm going to be discussing on, at this point, Darius and Brooklyn becoming like the endgame ship. Because at this point, I think we can't ignore the evidence at this point, because we got like a buttload of evidence that basically proves that Brooklyn X Darius is becoming the end game ship. Now, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Like when Chaos Theory was, at first announced, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Like, Brooklyn X Darius, like, sorry about that. My cat was just, like, looking at me weirdly, and I realized she needed food. Anyways. But yeah, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Like, when Chaos Theory was announced, like, basically Camp Cretaceous was going to get a continuation. Like, I don't think anybody saw Brooklyn and Darius becoming, like, the endgame ship. I certainly did not see that coming. And while at first I did not like these campers, over time they started to grow on me. Just like how at first I thought the Earth Godzilla trilogy was the best Godzilla trilogy out there, until over time I started to realize it wasn't. It really wasn't. The only thing that was good about the Earth Godzilla trilogy was the soundtrack and the story. That was it. The story and the soundtrack were the only. Well, I guess Godzilla Earth design is still a pretty cool looking design, but still. But seriously, like, Brooklyn and Darius becoming like a couple, possibly like the end game couple, like that I did not see coming. Like, when I watched Chaos Theory Season 1, and when Darius said the line of, "I was in love with Brooklyn," I was just like, whoa, okay, when did that happen? And then when he mentioned that when Brooklyn came to stay with him, things started to change. And honestly, I could see that happening. Like, if your best friend, if your friend comes to stay with you for a week, and as time goes on, you start to have romantic feelings for her, I could definitely see that changing over time. Like, maybe at first you just saw each other as friends, but as time goes on, that friendship that you once had changes into somewhat of a romantic relationship. Sorry about that again. But yeah, I could definitely see that happening with Brooklyn and Darius. Like, when Brooklyn came to stay with Darius, and like as time went on, he started to have romantic feelings for Brooklyn. I was like, okay, I could definitely see that happening, both in TV shows, movies, and comic books, video games, and real life. I could definitely see that happening to a lot of people. So, like, a friend, like a really good friend you have, and like she comes over to stay with you for a week, or even a month. As time goes on, you start to fall in love with that person that you've known as a good friend for almost the good chunk of your life. And Darius practically known Brooklyn for a good chunk of his life. But anyways, back on to the Darius and Brooklyn becoming an endgame ship. at this point, at this point, we can't ignore all the evidence that we have. Like, we got a buttload of evidence. Like, let's go back to Season 2, Episode 4? Yeah, it was 4. It was when Brooklyn and Darius had their somewhat cabin talk, and Darius mentioned that okay, it was episode 3, my bad. Never mind. I constantly have to check on Netflix to make sure if I'm right or not. I was literally a couple of minutes ago, I just got done watching Chaos Theory Season 2. How do I not remember that conversation and episode? But yeah, back on to the topic. Like when Darius said that he loves Brooklyn and like you could clearly, folks, you can tell from like Brooklyn's like facial expression and from her body language that yeah, there's definitely romantic feelings there. I guess Darius wasn't the only one who developed romantic feelings for a friend. If you really think about it, Brooklyn also developed romantic feelings for Darius. Which, once again, I am not that surprised. Not that surprised. But to a lot of Brooklyn and Darius shippers, I'm pretty sure they are really, really happy. That basically, yeah, their favorite ship might actually become canon. At this point, I don't think Brooklyn has any intentions of going back with Kenji at this point, because, the way, in, episode 10 of Season 2, the way she looked at Kenji, it is more like, she gave him, the look like, I don't really care about you anymore. I mean, I see you as a good friend still, but not as a lover anymore. But when she saw Darius, her eyes grew wide and, they grew wide and as if she really wasn't expecting him to be there. Like to all the others, she was like, okay, you guys are all there. But when she saw Darius, she was like, what are you doing here? So, yeah, you can clearly see that Brooklyn really does have romantic feelings for Darius. Now, there are some people who are thinking, or probably going to be wondering, will Brooklyn go back with Kenji? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Kenji, still cares about Brooklyn. But I guess just probably not the same way that he used to. If anything, most likely Kenji will probably get a new love interest, maybe in Season 3, if not possibly Season 4, or maybe possibly Season 5. There's a lot of people who are theorizing that they're going to be doing the same thing what they did with Camp Cretaceous and give us 5 seasons. At this point, I don't see that happening, but it's possible. I'm not keeping my fingers crossed. Most likely I can see maybe rather Season 3 or Season 4 could possibly be the final season. But if they do a Season 5, it will be a shock. Honestly, I will actually be shocked if they actually do a Season 5. But yeah, possibly one of the other seasons, most likely Kenji will get a new love interest. Maybe like a character he meets when they're trying to get to Brooklyn. Most likely. And wherever it is that she's going, honestly, because I don't know where she's going. But yeah, I can definitely see Darius and Brooklyn becoming a thing. Maybe in Season 3 or in Season 4, or if it's true, possibly Season 5. Either way, my money is betting on rather Season 3 or Season 4. It's when those two are going to become a thing. Because if those two become a thing, I would actually be really happy. Because I was not a big fan of Brooklyn and Kenji becoming a thing in Camp Cretaceous, and I stated before, to me it just felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, folks, if you honestly asked me, I think Kenji should have been in a relationship with Yaz. Mostly because those two characters have a buttload of interactions, and within a way, if you really think about it, if you really, really would think about it, and watch all the other seasons of Camp Cretaceous, she and Kenji have a lot more chemistry than freaking Brooklyn and Kenji. Like, Yaz is the #1 character that constantly talks to Kenji and constantly gives him really interesting character development. Not really good character development, but it's something. And honestly, the way she talks to him in Season 2, yeah, I'd say that Kenji should have been in a relationship with Yaz, honestly. Because I could see Yaz being the person who would snap Kenji out of any dumb decisions that he's going to make. Like, Kenji and Yaz are like those couples from like old school TV shows or video games or movies where the girlfriend has to snap her boyfriend out of any stupid decisions or dumb moves he's gonna make. I could definitely see Yaz and Kenji being that. And I'm not sure if I said this, but I don't support Yaz and Sammy being a thing. I do support Kenji and Yaz becoming a thing, because those two, to me, make sense. Like if these two became a thing in Season 4 of Camp Cretaceous, I would have been like, okay, that's actually pretty good. Instead of Brooklyn and Kenji, where I was like, how the hell does that happen? Like, how? How? Furthermore, how come Brooklyn never ended up with Darius? If anything, I think it was a missed opportunity there. Like, seriously, it was a missed opportunity to have Brooklyn and Darius become a thing in Season 4. I might make a what if video on what if Brooklyn and Darius became a thing in Season 4. But yeah, it was such a missed opportunity to have Brooklyn and Darius be a thing. Because if you really think about it, I'm pretty sure it would change a lot of the events of Season 5 of Camp Cretaceous, and eventually Season 2 and Season 1 and 2 of Chaos Theory.